Hello everyone, Taylorson here and welcome to episode 2 and stage 2 of the Tour Auvergne Rhone Alps playthrough. Now, if you haven't seen episode 1, go back and watch it because that stage was a banger. But this is where the GC is. Haland Johannessen leads after winning stage 1 from the breakaway, Kevin Gignac second, Matej Mohoric third, and we have Tobias Johannessen in 4th alongside the rest of the GC competitors. The plan, I think, for this stage is we're going to throw 2 more riders into the breakaway. This time Uijtdebroecks and Scarset, and just see how far they last, because I don't think they're going to let us win from the breakaway 2 stages in a row. We'll give it a try though. We are deep into this stage of over 230 kilometres. There's 70 kilometres to go, and we have indeed got Uijtdebroecks and Scarset in the breakaway, but the peloton have been much more wise this time around, not giving the breakaway any more than sort of 4 to 5 minutes of gap, and it's at 3 minutes 17 for the moment with 2 kilometres until the penultimate King of the Mountains points to be given out. And we've won every single one so far with Uijtdebroecks, so he's racked up plenty of King of the Mountains points, and if he wins these final 2 climbs, then he can go into the lead of the polka dot jersey classification, overtaking Haland Johannessen, his own teammate. But there are plenty of riders that we have to deal with, including the man at the front, Matthias Lebert, who has been our main problem from this breakaway. We've dealt with him multiple times, but as the stage goes on, I expect him to be better as he goes on the attack. We try and get to the inside, but Lebert takes the corner very well. We are on the inside, and Lebert is just too strong for Uijtdebroecks this time around. So that means that I think Johannessen holds the King of the Mountains jersey. Let me just check this for a second. If he wins the last climb, he'll be on 28 points, and Johannessen is on 28 points, so they might be level. And because of that, I am using Uijtdebroecks up to his maximum capacity on this final climb. We only have 90 seconds over the peloton with 31.5 kilometres to go, and it's Anders Scarset's time to rock. Uijtdebroecks is giving his all in the last effort, Charmig style, in the previous stage, and we're going to take our turbo gel and get ready for an attack to try and break up this breakaway group. 2 Caja Rural riders were in this group, along with Martinez from yesterday's breakaway, but Martinez has immediately gone off the back, as have the Caja Rural riders. Scarset versus Lebert then for the final King of the Mountains point. It is pretty meaningless, but we're going to try and win it for the good of Uno X and just have another rider up there in the classification, and indeed we do, sprinting away from Lebert, and we might even press on to try and get rid of him for good and go for a solo effort. I'm fairly certain we won't make it to the line. We've only got 1 minute and 5 seconds of gap, as from the GC group, Healy, Jorgenson and Almeida have formed a group of 3 off the front of the peloton. That's going to be interesting to see how they're chased, because Seixas is not in the group for Decathlon CMA CGM, so they're going to chase them down, and indeed they have, so that is good for us. Doing less work and getting more from it. This man, however, has done a lot of work, and the work is about to be complete. We've had him up front so that we've not had to do any pacing down of the breakaways, but Anders Scarset is really struggling now. He is almost completely out of red, he is completely out of blue, and now the chasing groups will try to catch him, including the group behind of Mohoric. A couple of riders have been dropped behind, including the GC leader and Tobias Johannessen, but they are in a big group, including Wout van Aert. I don't know why Train is in the group ahead, given that I wanted him to protect Tobias Johannessen, but there we are. Either way, Van Aert being in the group means I'm not going to pace with them, just because I think they're going to pull this one back, but I will keep an eye on the gap, and I might need to send Krohn forward to try and chase these guys down, because it is a very good group ahead that is about to catch Scarset and fly past him. Behind the group of favourites, however, sits this man in the King of the Mountains jersey, loaned from Haland Johannessen. Tobias Johannessen has a lot of work to do to try and get to the front, but Ineos have 4 riders in this group, and at the moment, It's Jayco AlUla pacing. I'm not really sure who for. Anders Haland Johannessen has been dropped, but I'm going to check who they're pacing for. It's Matthews. So they're trying to go for a sprint with the Australian, and hopefully we can lean on them to try and chase them down, because I've only got Andreas Kron in this group now, and he is going to go pop very shortly. So it's going to be panic stations a little bit for Tobias Haland Johannessen in these final kilometres. And the panic has been settling in for this leading group of 4 as Matteo Jorgenson comes to the front and tries to rip them apart up this climb, and indeed he has. He's ripped the group in half, and it's Joao Almeida that can be the only rider to follow the wheel at the moment. Matteo Jorgenson, the American, trying to hold off the chasing pack behind, but it's Mohoric leading them down, and Mohoric makes the catch, and Mohoric sticks to the wheel of Almeida, who knows that he's in this for the general classification. He has no interest in the stage win, he just wants to distance the likes of Seixas and Johannessen. Meanwhile, the stage win battle goes, the sprints are launched, Vermeersch coming through the middle, Trentin on the left-hand side, he gets there. Matteo Trentin, the Italian rider, on Tudor Pro Cycling, takes the win in stage 2. There's Seixas across the line, and there's Johannessen. Unk has still got it. Matteo Trentin for Tudor Pro Cycling takes the win in stage 2, but he is not involved at all in the GC picture, so we might have a new yellow jersey because Anders Haland Johannessen was dropped quite early. So let's see whether he is still in yellow. The answer's no. Matej Mohoric, I think that is the new general classification leader for Bahrain Victorious. Indeed it is. And he's had a very good first couple of stages, finishing on the podium in stage 1 and sprinting to a solid result on stage 2. I think he was 3rd place again. So he's looking for that elusive victory. He's in the green jersey. And we continue to control polka dot jersey with Anders Haland Johannessen, who has to give up the yellow to the man on screen. Here's the result then. Matteo Trentin wins the stage ahead of Gianni Vermeersch and Matej Mohoric. Then a group behind of Ayuso, Jorgenson, Almeida and Healy at 6 seconds. Schoins at 12 and Seixas at 32. We cross the line in a small group on 37 seconds down on the leader, which means that Mohoric takes the lead by only 7 seconds from Anders Haland Johannessen, with Ayuso in 3rd place. We've dropped with Tobias Haland Johannessen to 12th, 45 seconds behind Mohoric on the road. It's not a major loss, but it is a loss nonetheless. And it's a loss that we will have to take and move on with to the team time trial in tomorrow's episode. But for now, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and stay safe, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.